Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. And, you know what? I've been crapping on Sony and PlayStation quite a bit recently. I did come to their defense a little bit with the misconception over them blocking games on portable platforms with account linking, which to be fair, they essentially are doing that, but with Ghost of Tsushima, it's just the multiplayer component. But if you guys don't know, a lot of you guys probably are excited even if PlayStation account linking is required for God of War Ragnarok on PC. However, that is not PlayStation's next PC game release. In fact, they are going to be dropping a day one, a game that is releasing on both PlayStation 5 and PC on the same day. And in fact, that game is enjoying a free open beta right now. You know what that game is? It's called Concord, and Sony is very much trying to move into the live service market. They are trying to make a play for the live service genre, much like a lot of other publishers, and it looks like Sony's gonna be in for a bit of a rude awakening that live service games, they have their audience. There's generally a big opportunity to make a lot of money. That is why Sony is going into it, but it's not that easy in just going in, immediately dropping a game, finding a sustainable audience, a sustainable player base, because I've said over and over again, that is what live service games require. It doesn't matter if it's an amazing game. In a vacuum, if it's an amazing game that isn't sustainable with a consistent audience, it's over. That game is getting shut down, and Concord is a live service hero shooter that, again, is enjoying a free open beta right now. Mind you, when this game actually comes out in August, it is going to be a $40 pay-to-play hero shooter. By the way, it's also going to require PlayStation account linking. Right now, it's free to play this beta. And we're talking about games that, hey, PlayStation published Helldivers 2, and that game was a resounding success. That game had a $40 price point to buy, and it peaked at around 400,000 players, and that game was a resounding success. Right now, it's stabilized at 80,000 to 100,000 players, last I checked. What's Concord at? Again, right when this free, open beta is running, 1,000 concurrent players on Steam. This is before a $40 price point. This is before the luster of the game being new wears off. This game is dead on arrival. Dead before arrival. Dead on announcement. However you want to say it, this game is a disaster. I don't know how we've gotten to a point where this game had millions of dollars sunk into it. This gets greenlit, but with the repertoire of IPs under Sony's umbrella, because they are so desperately trying to cling on to that live service market, and I don't know if they're getting into this world of let's just throw as much crap at the wall and hopefully something sticks. And mind you, Helldivers 2 is not a game that was done by a first-party Sony studio. It was done by Arrowhead. Credit to PlayStation for publishing it, but Arrowhead's essence of that game was intact from Helldivers 1. Yes, Helldivers 1 was a game, and Helldivers 2 was actually a good take on the live service model. Concord, right out of the get-go, everybody was like, what is this game? You pull up the gameplay reveal trailer. Hell, why did we have a burger trailer back at PlayStation Showcase in 2023? Sometimes, I love PlayStation. PlayStation is my console of choice. I grew up a PlayStation guy through and through. I was a staunch defender of the PlayStation 3 during the absolute dark days, but what PlayStation is becoming with having no games coming out in 2024 and then putting out trash like Concord, and I don't want to say it's trash to put down the developers or whatnot, but nobody wants this game. Nobody wants to play this game, and we can dissect certain elements of the game, certainly, and I would push back on those elements being implemented into this game because it does nothing for the audience. You guys have IPs like Killzone, like Resistance, like SOCOM, even Warhawk, Starhawk, all of these IPs under your umbrella, and somehow we're at a point where Concord, with their flashy heroes, gets greenlit. Why? Because I guess with a game like this, they thought you're gonna get attached to the heroes and you're gonna get to spend money on the microtransactions because they're so desperate for that. And instead of having consistent and quality games from PlayStation, you know, they're doing well with the PC ports. You know, Happy Ghost of Tsushima's on PC, Happy Horizon's on PC, but if you actually look at the games they've been putting out from a first-party standpoint for the last year, they've had one game, and that is Spider-Man 2. Since then, we've had nothing, and now we're getting Concord as like a true new game and not just a port done by Nixus. Nixus are the GOATs, but I digress. Concord is trash, and hopefully, like, sometimes these publishers just gotta learn the hard way. You want to get into live service so badly. You're just frothing at the mouth so badly to attach to that gravy train. You're abandoning what brought you to the dance, and that is your amazing first-party titles, because screw those games. Let's task Naughty Dog to live service Last of Us with Last of Us Factions. Oh, what happened? That gets canned. Let's try to get, you know, Fair Game off the ground. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. After seeing Concord, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. And as far as Concord is concerned, there was a time years ago where I was like, hey, there's these rumors coming out, Firewalk Studios, a new studio is being created to do a multiplayer title. My foolish brain, my single-digit IQ, somehow I thought, hey, maybe this is a new studio being created to work on a new Killzone because Guerrilla is doing Horizon. Maybe Guerrilla will ship off Killzone to this Firewalk studio and we'll get a new Killzone game, and we get this trash. This is absolutely going back 2-3 years ago when Firewalk came into the picture and they were going to do a multiplayer game. If you told me that, that would be absolute worst case scenario. And it is coming to fruition, but I am happy to an extent. Like, I don't want developers to lose their jobs, and I don't want them to be working on a game for years that ends up being a disaster, a failure, but that's what this game is gonna be. Let's just be frank about it. This is a game that potentially is gonna go free to play by the end of the year. It's certainly going to be a PlayStation Plus title, and mind you, it requires PlayStation account linking on PC. PC, when it comes to these live service games, if you want to do them right, if you want to actually have these games pop off, you have to respect the PC audience. It just has to happen to an extent. Look at what's happening with Apex Legends. A little bit of disrespect, and then that game's just getting absolutely trashed. Now, Apex already had an established audience, so that game I think is going to be fine, but with Concord, you're doing the account linking nonsense. You're making a game that people don't really want. It's got a $40 price tag. You can get away with some of that nonsense to an extent on consoles. I mean, if this was a console-only game, it would be an even bigger failure, but you guys get what I'm saying. This stuff is just gonna get called out when it's even stronger, when it's coming to PC as well, and the PC audience, I just feel like, does not take crap as much as the console audience. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just feel like that's the case. The PC audience will certainly call stuff out, and you know, they can be pretty harsh, but when something's really good, they'll give credit for it. But like, Sony's gotta throw the towel in on this. And remember, it's not just one failure. You could look at Helldivers 2 popping off and be like, hey, they popped off with Helldivers 2. I would say Arrowhead retained the essence of what made them great, and Helldivers 2 turned out great. Concord is just something so obviously not what Sony is typically doing. It's not something that would excite anybody, and it's just such a misreading of the room of what your audience wants, and it's just so jarring to me how this is even happening. Like, how foolish do you have to be to have this greenlit? And remember, it's not just Concord being bad and Concord failing. It's not fair to say it's bad. It's not even out yet, but it's gonna fail. Fair Game potentially is gonna fail as well. And then you also have to look at games like Last of Us Factions that got canned, the Spider-Man live service project that got canned, and other projects we don't know about and time invested. Live service so far, not looking like a wise investment from Sony, and on top of all of that, it led to a lackluster 2023 for PlayStation 5. It led to a lackluster 2024 for PlayStation 5, where they have hardly any big games coming out from a first-party standpoint. And how does this affect the PC audience? Well, you're gonna get these games at a bit of a lag, so come 2025, it's not going to be as heavy as 2024, at least I don't think, based on the fact that Sony's running out of games to port because they haven't been putting out games as consistently. You have Gran Turismo 7, Demon's Souls Remake, they'll be okay, but if you were rolling out more games, you could have that consistent stream of releases on PC as well. At some point, you know, you're wasting releases on games like Concord. Imagine the resources they put into Concord. It was something like, oh, I don't know, a brand new Sly Cooper. They decided to create a dedicated studio. You're you're gonna work on a smaller scale game, we're gonna give you Sly Cooper, and that's what you're gonna do. We're gonna port that on PC, maybe 2025, fall of 25, 2026, maybe day one if they were actually, you know, I've talked about day one games. So Concord is just absolutely the worst aspects of gaming, in my humble opinion, and I want to say I'm happy to see it fail, because you don't want games to fail. There's people hard at work on these games, but I would be lying if I didn't say it does my black heart a little bit of joy to see people push back on this game. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.